Hey there everybody, it's Sharkbait with Monster Shark Airsoft, back with the review video that I promised earlier in the week for the CM.121S. But before we get started with that, for those of you that recall my first review video of the Elite Force MP5, I stated that I was going to start giving shout outs to other YouTubers and Instagrammers who were showing me support to help spread that love and support back to them. And for those that don't recall, and now that I know how to do the edits, I can pop them up in the screen as I call them out. From the first video, I gave a shout out to a guy who was my first subscriber before I even put a video up. He's a co-worker, and he's a great buddy, friend of mine. Go check him out at the Herpsurdity Podcast. Now, another YouTuber that started following me very early in my channel, about a year or so ago when I first started, is High Velocity Airsoft. And the third person I gave a shout out to has an Instagram page instead of a YouTube. And it was Ivy League Airsoft for those amazing customs that he does and actually sells on eBay. And of course, for the last few videos, a lot of you have been hearing the names like KO Airsoft, who is within reach of his 50 subscriber goal. Gambit Airsoft, who is within reach of his 100 subscriber goal. And then there's also Reaper 6 Airsoft, Hillbilly Airsoft, and Little Miss Airsoft. Now you've been hearing a lot of those names in these past few videos, so with this one, it's time to introduce some new names and more people. So first up, it'll be 3 YouTube channels and then an Instagram page. So to start it off, I want to give a shout out to Shot Tactics. Go check them out. And Gibbers Plays Airsoft. Both of them seem like really great guys. They love their sniper play and they do post a lot of gameplay content. And then there's also Goldie's Room. He is somebody that actually gave me a bit of encouragement a year or so ago when I posted in a Airsoft Facebook group. Last but not least for this round of shoutouts is Airsoft Girl Slovakia on Instagram, who is actually doing a giveaway right now of a hat and 3 patches. So go check her out, show her some love, show all of them love by subscribing and following their pages. And with that being said, we'll get started into the review for that pistol. Okay, so here it is, that CM.121S, better known as the CYMA Desert Eagle. Now, I actually put everything back in the box so you can see how it comes to you. So of course, first up, you have the standard CYMA box, the little warning labels, information, and everything on it. There you see the CM.121S with the logo. And on the front, you see where it says MOSFET Edition. Then, of course, the back side shows where it has the upgraded gearbox with steel bearings, a LiPo battery, micro USB charger, and that it's a MOSFET LiPo protection, switch protection inside. Now that is why it's the 121S. If you get just the 121, there's no MOSFET. The 121S has the MOSFET. Now go ahead and open the box up. As you'll see, the MOSFET charging instructions, the user manual, which is just like every other basic manual. It tells you the ins and outs of the gun, what to do, what not to do. List parts, or part lists, I mean. And there you have it. That's how you'll see the gun when it arrives. Of course, first up, you'll have your little small speed loader, the USB charger for it, your little 7.4 volt 550 milliamp LiPo battery, small Dean's connector. And I know when I'm showing it, for those that see my green fingers, just ignore that. I'm currently doing a little side project, which if the little test runs goes according to plan, that'll be a later video for you. You know, so pull the gun out, and here you have a better look of the gun. Now, one thing that I did not pay attention to when I ordered it was that this is actually semi-auto and full auto capable. So, you know, just like I did with the MP5 over here, I'll go through a list on pros, cons, what I like, what I don't like. Just minor things like that, because, you know, keep in mind that it is my own opinion of the gun. Some people might like it better, some might like it worse. And at the end of the video, I'll actually have a chrono testing of it like I did with the MP5, to where I'm shooting .20s, .25s, and .32s, just to give you that range between the weights on how big of a gap that your FPS would fall. So first up, when I opened it, since it was a new gun to me, I actually thought there was no safety mechanism to it. I just thought it was the full auto and semi-auto. When actually, if you push this button and hold it in, on the other side there's this little switch here. That is your safety right there. And when it's flush against the gun, that is your firing capability. So figured that out right off the bat after checking around. Now the only real inconvenience or thing about it that I did not like, so the only con, was with it being an AEP, the top half here is only being held into place by the hammer. So you pull the hammer back, the top comes off. And that's the only thing holding it into place. That was the only thing I didn't like, because I figured, you know, you're out there playing, you put it in your holster, pull it out, hit the trigger, top falls off. I mean, hit the hammer. That was really the only con to it. So like I said, fire selector, full auto, semi-auto, your safety. You have an underbarrel rail here for flashlights or lasers. And your mag release right here, which, looking at this, you would kind of assume that it's only 10, 15, 20 tops rounds, like your other stick mags. When actually, in all reality, and I even checked it by hand loading, this is 30 rounds. So the fact that it's smaller, lightweight, and is not bulky like the high Kappas, but you still get that 30 round capability. Now again, pull the hammer back, remove the top. This piece of the pistol is actually metal. I want to say this was aluminum. So yeah, put that to the side. You'll see the inner parts of a gun here. Not a whole lot there. You have your battery cable here. Again, small Dean's connector. Your gearbox and motor is here in the handle. And of course your barrel. And something that I like about this, being that it was easy to take apart to put the battery in, is you actually have your hop up right here to adjust. So with that being said, you can actually keep the top off, and as you're shooting, you can adjust your hop up. So yeah, that's about the gist of it that I've gotten to so far. I don't really want to take it fully apart, considering I don't have a secondary one or a backup one to play with to kind of figure out. And then it's just simple. When you put the top back on, you just sit it on top. Make sure your battery cable is in. When you look at the front, make sure your inner barrel is actually going through the hole. And then you'll just push the hammer back in place and it's snug back on top. So yeah, that's about it for the physical review of the gun. Again, like I said, I'll have a chronograph testing coming up next. And I think what I'm going to do as far as range testings, I'm going to do 2 pistols at a time. So when I do my next pistol review, I'll do a part 2 combination in a sense, to where they're both being tested. Now, sort of like how I did my MP5, the 50 feet, 75 feet, and 100 feet. The pistols, I'm actually going to have those set up at 25 feet, 50 feet, and 75. I might throw a 100-foot target in there just for the heck of it to see how it does. So yeah, that's the gist of it. So, you know, I'll get the chronograph testing up next. until next time, have fun, stay safe, hoo ha ha.